Have you ever been stuck in business? Like no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you push, no matter what you do, like you don't make any progress. And you wake up like 6 months or 12 months, you're like, God, I'm busting my ass. I'm working all of these hours and it feels like Groundhog's Day because I'm not going anywhere. This is kind of how I felt recently when I got caught in a riptide in the ocean and, started pulling me away. But it was a really interesting metaphor for business. And I want to share that with you real quick. Now, the beach that we were at is actually said to be like one of the best beaches for beginners because there's different levels of waves. And, if you're a beginner, like it's actually, it's pretty shallow, but the waves hit. So we've been told that this is a great beach to be at. Now, I'm falling over and I'm, kind of drifting just a little bit. And what I didn't realize was I had ended up drifting off to the side where they've got the red flag up, but it had just happened like incrementally. And I didn't even realize that I had gotten over there. So I start swimming to shore and I'm like, I'm not really going anywhere. Let me swim a little bit harder. A minute or two goes by and I'm like, God damn, I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm not making any progress. So I start swimming a little bit harder. It was like right around this time that I started to get nervous. Like I started to get actually scared. I'm like, I'm getting further away. At this exact time, I realized a surfer came in from this side. And over here, I saw somebody, another surfer, jump in from the rocks and he starts swimming from this side. And they come over and they're like, hey, everything all right? And I'm like, dude, and they said, you're in a riptide. A single piece of information is transformative. And it comes from somebody with more experience than you. Like they weren't any stronger than me. They weren't any faster than me. They could surf a whole lot better than me, but they couldn't swim to the shore any better. They knew not to swim there. Sometimes we think effort is what we need because we see the target and it just seems so common sense that we're going to go from here to there. When we face resistance, like we kind of go, well, I'm not giving up. I'm going to go harder. I'm going to go harder. I'm going to go harder. And sometimes that's what you need. Like sometimes you just need to put a little more muscle into it. But sometimes you're literally trying to accomplish the impossible because you're just doing the wrong thing. And what you need is information. What you need is an expert to say, no matter how hard you work on that thing, it's not going to get you where you want to go. And somebody comes in and enlightens you or gives you that thing and you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is perfect. Like this makes my life so much easier. So if you feel like you've been putting in a ton of work and you're not going anywhere, or you just feel like you're stuck, or you feel like, I've put in the hours, I put in the effort, I know that. First, you got to check that. You got to make sure that that's there. But you're still not going anywhere, chances are you're stuck in some type of riptide. You're just swimming against the tide and effort isn't going to be what you need to get there. So you want to zoom out and you want to say, who has this answer? Like who has solved this problem before? Who has this solution or the knowledge that I need to fix this thing?